And the other thing is this thing of telling them, you go and get your shoes, and we go. The next thing they know, they don't find you.
You can handle kids' emotions. I think the reason why we promise, like, you go pick your shoes, I'll come, we go together, then you disappear. It's because you don't want to deal with the
Crying,
emotion of their sad.
Hello, welcome back to our channel, Glory in Family. You are so welcome. My name is Lillian Rantale Jones.
My name is Mary Angela Chezira.
Yes, so today we want to talk about way with children. We are going to talk about how we can actually live with our children and understand them and make them feel safe in our midst, in our presence. Yeah, because lately children have been having a problem of being abandoned by the parents. We think that we know them. We think that since we can see them, they are happy and going and eating, they are okay, yet in actual sense they are not. So today we want to know, how are we going to go through with our children? How do we understand them? How do we actually learn to talk to them so that they can talk to us, to open up to us? So that's what we want to talk about this time, because families with children are usually neglected, because we think, hey, it's the children, we don't give them time. But we are starting with children today.
Yeah.
So enjoy and
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
Don't go away. With what you said, what came to me was, maybe someone does not understand what we mean when we say children are neglected.
Yeah.
Because you meet their everyday needs. You feed them, you dress them, you take them to school, you take them out, you take them for lunch, you do things with them, but you're not actively engaging with them as your children.
Yeah.
And that's what we are going to talk about today. Like, how to actively, what does it mean to know your kids? What does it mean to have children? Like, there's now, having children is like part of being in a family. You must have children. But once you've had them, then it becomes, okay, take them to school, take them to daycare, or buy them clothes, buy them food, take them for parties. It becomes a chore, and you miss out on
the
that
enjoying
person.
part.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want to start with the listening part. We urge parents to listen to their children, because most of the time you think that it's only your word that matters. As long as you've spoken to them, you've put some discipline in them, you walk away. You don't try to listen to what they have to say. I think the advice to that is to listen to your children, because if you listen to your children, they will learn to even come to you and talk to you about intimate things that they want to actually talk to, like things that are happening at school, things that are happening at church, their neighbors, those kinds of things. Children will always open up to a person that listens to them.
Yeah.
If you do not listen to them, they will not also open up to you. So that gives them the gap to know that if I go and talk to mommy or daddy or auntie, uncle, they can trust you. So yeah, let's learn to listen to our children.
Yeah. Listening to your child, it's the same courtesy you would want someone to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a job, you have somewhere you work, and you messed up somewhere, and your boss comes to blast you, you also have a reason why you did what you did. And you have a justification, maybe not right, but there's a reason why. And that's where we're coming from in listen. Like, yes, you caught them doing that thing, it's a horrible thing, but why did they do it? Try and talk to them to know why actually did they do that thing before you bring the road down. Because whatever consequence you give them will actually attack why they did it, not what they did. And you could break them instead of actually helping them figure it out.
It breaks their esteem and think that even if I do something right, because sometimes they have good reason as to why they are doing something. You might find they wanted to surprise you, but in the end they spoiled things. So instead of first asking why, you first punish. So they'll see you. That's why we get names like Mamzilla, those kinds of things, because we are not listening.
Let me give an example, quick. I know someone who was very young. He was about 4 or 5 years old, and it was his mother's birthday. And then his father told him, today, please, behave yourself. It's mommy's birthday. Let's do a surprise for her by you being a very well-behaved child today. Now that child understood, let me do something for mommy. It's mommy's birthday. The child went to the kitchen, wanted to bake a cake. Disaster. You can imagine.
A 4-year-old. I know, right?
So mom comes downstairs and child is like, surprise. And of course, mom is like, come here. How dare you? Do you know what? Of course, the rod came down very heavily.
Yeah.
But the child's what the child got from that is, you can't ever do anything for mommy.
Yes.
Whatever you do, you're still going to get in trouble. So that cut off that part of the relationship. Yet, if she had said, oh, okay, so what's going on here? Take time before you
understand the heart behind.
You're like, oh, that was so nice of you, but you shouldn't do that. You've made a mess, and then engage them in cleaning up instead of bringing down the road. And then you're like, by the way, you better clean it up. By the time I come back, this is so yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate those little ones.
Yeah.
As you have said, that when they do something for you, appreciate them. Don't try to, it's their duty. I'm the mother or I'm the father, they're the child. So, I mean, if I tell them, bring me that cup and they put it there and you don't say thank you, come on. You want to be thanked when you're given food, right? When you give them food, you're like, what do you say? And then for you, when they give you something, you do not say thank you. You do not kiss them, hug them.
Yeah.
Kids love those kinds of things because, by the way, that's how kids learn how to give. Because they know if I give, I'm going to be appreciated. If I do something good for my sibling, for anyone, I'm going to be appreciated. But if you don't, that's when you find those mean kids. They never say thank you. They're just bullying others around because, hey, guess what? I am not recognized. So you who is recognized, I'll treat you like this. So appreciate those little ones.
Yeah, and on top of appreciating them, encourage them.
Yes.
Like when something is not going well for them, instead of beating them down even more, encourage them that they can do better, that they can improve. Don't, encouraging, it means to pour courage into someone else. So your child is having an issue, they can't break through in a certain area. Instead of blasting them into it, like talk to them, calm down, encourage them, tell them you can actually do this. By the way, I know you're good at this and this. You can go here and here. Don't give in to the frustration of she's not doing it. I have to push her. It does nothing for them. In fact, it will just cause them to shut down.
It breaks them.
It breaks them. So you have to tell them, you're good at this. You can actually do this. Work hard, try harder. What do you need? Like, be that support instead of demanding. And when they don't produce, you're beating down on them without understanding that there is a process to them being what you want them to be. Okay, some people, why we actually don't encourage most times is because you're comparing your child
to
another person's child, and that child, they dance like Michael Jackson. Then you want your child to dance like Michael Jackson, and your child cannot.
He can't.
No, but the child wants to dance. So instead of being like, you leave these things, you can't do it, or why can't you just figure this thing out? Just tell them, look, you can do it. Even when you know in your heart they cannot, you have to be like, you can do it. Try your best. Encourage them and keep pushing them to what they need to be. Those are the kids you find in the world. They're like, me, I will be a superhero. And you're like, no. And it's not wrong. Now, there are some people where you push it to the extreme and your child thinks they are infallible. There has to be realistic goals. Like, encourage them in what you know they can do. But when you know that this thing actually you can't do it, you have to guide them into something else. Don't just say, you can't ever do this, leave it alone, leave it for the ones who are talented in it. No, you guide them where you feel like they are more suited for that thing. Your child is not very good at music, dance, and drama, and they are trying to do music, dance, and drama. So you can be like, okay, you know what you can do in this thing. Instead of trying to dance like this or dance like that, how about if you drum? How about if you learn the guitar? Don't you think you would do better there? So you're not telling them this is bad. You're telling them, actually, this is where you need to be.
That's what I wanted to say, that point them to a thing they can do best or better than the other one. My son doesn't know how to dance. Oh, God help him. Like nothing. He would never stand up for you to dance. Like even when everyone else is dancing, he's just sitting looking. But then when it comes to art, oh, he's too passionate.
Yeah.
But since he's young, of course, he's just learning in it. So, but you can see that he has the passion there and he draws. So every time he draws something, he started drawing dragons. But at first, of course, they were
like,
he
is
would
this
be
a dragon or what?
Yes, so he would be frustrated because I think he's a perfectionist somehow. So when he sees something that is not working, he would cry. He would, be frustrated. So I told him, every mistake in art is art. You get so just learn to work with your mistake.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you're still young. You're just 8. So you're drawing like this doesn't mean that you're not going to draw better. So just continue practicing. By now, he can draw dragons that I'm like, it's just man.
It's amazing.
So it's because I encouraged him. I didn't tell him, you stop drawing. You get. I just told him. Because at first
this one has failed.
Yes, I'm like, at first I was also like, what is wrong with this boy? But in my room, of course, complaining how he's tying himself on things he can't do. But then the Holy Spirit was like, he actually can do that. Just encourage him in the right way. So when I spoke to him like that, and then the other people support, oh, he's now too passionate. He knows he can. Dancing, see you. He's not interested.
It's not happening.
Yes, so direct them in a way, in the things they can do better.
Yes.
Do not tell them, no, you can't dance, stop. No, just tell them, how about this? And then they'll walk there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Another thing with children, you have to repeat everything a 1,000 times. I actually believe the Bible is as big as it is because God had to repeat himself over and over.
Mostly the first 5 books. Oh.
Yeah, Exodus, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, they're all saying the same thing. Numbers. And then you have the prophets, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, they're all saying the same thing. So God repeated himself. Like by the time you reach him, it's not because he didn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's you who has just decided you're not going to do the thing. So as a parent, I don't know why you would think you told your child one thing and they must have gotten it down. And for me, I had to learn that the hard way because I just couldn't understand. I've told you, pick up your clothes.
Yeah.
How many times am I going to pick up? Like, pick up your clothes. Pick up your clothes.
Human beings, you see, you can also forget that you left something somewhere and you want the child to remember that they forgot. So I was getting onto my children for that. Until the Lord told me, you're also forgetful. You forget to pay a debt. Do you know that? I'm like, crickets.
You left the building.
Yes, because you can have your money and you're like, today I have to send money to this person. And then you're like, okay, it flies out. You go and do something else. So what else? What more for a child?
How much more? Their brain is just developing.
Yes.
They are learning new things. Every day is a new experience. There are things they have never seen before. And then you expect them to remember what you told them. You have to repeat and repeat. And with that comes patience. You have to be patient, long suffering. Suffer that habit until they get out of it, because that's how God our Father is.
And
he literally is tolerant.
Yeah, don't stop. Stay consistent, because then if you stop, they will know, you get, she's going to, it's like Uganda. And in fact, the perfect thing to talk about is the government of Uganda. They put up a rule and people will be like, with time it will stop. And then we shall go back to our daily life, because that's what we are used to. You get. So it's the same thing with the children in your home. You give them something to do, and then they'll be like, from today onwards, you have to be cleaning this place. They're like, yes, mommy. Oh, yes, daddy. And then today, tomorrow. And then you don't come to check on it. Third day, they won't do it. They will know, daddy is not consistent. So they will not be doing your things. Or they'll be doing, they'll know, we can tolerate this for this much time, and then he will be done. But if they know that you are a consistent parent, they are going to be on top of their game. Those are the kids you find in their workplaces. They do not stop until they have finished something.
So this is when you teach them consistency.
Yes.
Consistency as a child is learnt from the parents.
Exactly.
How consistent you were in teaching that thing, they will learn that when mommy begins a thing,
she won't stop.
And you're so right that we have a habit of waiting things out. You're like, it will end. Just hang in there a little bit, because our parents never pushed things to their limit. Of course, there are some things they were passionate about and they were not changing their minds.
Yes.
But now we need to learn with a child consistency with a same level of tone.
Yes.
Banange. This one, we have been beaten about it. I've been beaten about it. Stop shouting. By the way, when you shout, you lose ground, because the child will just tune you out. And wait you out. Mommy is going to shout, and they are used to it, and they move on with their lives. So you're not communicating anything. They're just going to wait out your rant, and they'll continue with their life, because no one learns like that.
Yes.
God knows we don't learn like that. You never find the Holy Spirit shouting at you about anything. In fact, Holy Spirit will tell you, but do you remember you were supposed to do this and this and this? You're like, do you remember, by the way, you said you were going to do this and this? Yeah, I'll do it. All the time, consistent level of voice. So even me, I've learned. Don't scream. Have a consistent, don't be too low. Don't be too high. Be direct. I have said, pick up your clothes. How many times am I going to tell you to pick up your clothes? I'm not going, I will, every time.
I had that issue. I could shout. Oh my goodness. Like real shouting. Don't tell me. And then my husband would be like, what's wrong with you? Why are you shouting at the kids? By the time they turn 13, they won't be listening to you. And it will be your problem. Yours. Because you are the one who is building this. I was like, but that's the only way they can listen. But then I learned that I speak to them once. If they don't listen, I get a sandal. If I'm not able to beat them, I ground them. If not, I take them to their dad, and they know it is now fire. So now when I speak, because they used to be like, since I was shouting, I talk to them shouting, so they just continue with life. So it was happening even when I speak at a low tone, that I speak to them and they just continue with whatever they're doing, because they are used to me shouting. So I have to first shout for them to do. So if I don't shout, they'll continue. So now what I do is I speak
instead of shouting. My friend Mr. Slipper is here.
Yes. So now they know how to listen, because they know, mommy doesn't shout anymore. She's going to get her son. So I'll be like, yes, mommy, run quick. Because they know it's either daddy or a sando, and they're afraid of daddy. You get? Because they know that, he will listen and beat.
Yeah, and you have to enforce those consequences. Yes. If you've said, when you don't do what I say, sando, you have to be consistent in bringing that sando, because when you don't, they will learn that there are no consequences.
Yeah.
And by the way, the world has consequences. You do something, there will be an equal. That mathematic equation, MC.
I'm so sorry,
but whatever happens, there's going to be an equal reaction to what you have done. So they have to know that consequences exist. They are not going to just do whatever they want and get away with it. That actually brings me to my next point of spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yes. We
really love this. Every time you're picking up a slipper, spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay, mommy. Well done, mommy. You will not spoil the child. However, before you pick up the rod, what are the measures of discipline that you have taken?
Yeah.
Because God's rod was, you're going to go into exile. You're going to go into exile. But he kept telling them, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop. Banange, stop. Please don't do this thing. I beg of you. Banange.
Yeah. He beat the drum.
By the time the rod came, it's because there was no other way for them to hear what it was that he was telling them. So my dear mothers and fathers, okay, maybe fathers I won't say, but mothers, don't pick up the rod
instantly.
Where is my stick? You even said them, go bring the stick.
You have it in the corner of the house. Everyone knows it.
You're not willing to hear, like what we said. You have not been teaching this thing for them to learn. So one thing about children is that they are born with their own ways. They are born with their own thinking, their own ways, their own habits.
Yeah.
They are not you. They are not a photocopy of everything inside of you. So when you're raising, you are molding this person how they should be going, which includes a lot of talking, directing, instructing. Then when everything has failed, discipline comes in when it's like, I told you this thing and I told you 1,000 times.
Yes.
You have failed to learn. I think the stick will help you understand. So that by the time that grave punishment comes, it's worthy of the crime because you have done it long enough. Now, of course, the rod, the stick may be that, but it could also be whatever thing you feel like, when I do this, I think you will understand that I'm serious about you stopping this habit. Because when you keep on bringing it out every time, then the child will get used to it and they will not care anymore.
You have to bring it out at a particular period
bring
of
it
time.
Yes, bring it when you know this. When mommy brings this, surely what I have done is deserving, because she has told me enough times and I have refused to conform. Even you, when they do it to you, you accept, because you know indeed she's right. While she's going to bring this rod, or while dad is going to bring this rod, he has told me enough times, I know that the rod comes to reprove. It doesn't come first time the rule is broken, then
then it's hell on earth.
It's hell on earth. And again, this also depends on the level of the crime, I would say. For example, with Adam and Eve, eat the fruit, you're going out. But the death didn't come immediately.
It did.
The death came almost 1,000, almost not 1,000, but almost 1,000 years. Meaning he had time to repent and change his ways and learn from his mistake. And then he died. But you, when you say, if I tell you to do this thing and you don't do it, and then you bring the greatest punishment, you better do it when they do children. It. Because then it's like every time something happens, daddy, watch you, they will never take you seriously as a parent, because you're not instilling in them the character of learning, of growing, of transforming, of being changed,
of being patient. You know, those kinds of things, growing the fruit of the spirit in them, because that's from that tender age is when they learn the kindness, is when they learn the patience. That's why you find most of the time that parents who do not have that, it was not instilled in us, it was not given to us by our parents. So it's the same thing that we come with growing up, and you know this is how it is. Like it's the rule. Kids are supposed to be treated like this, yet it's not even the case. God doesn't treat us like that as his children. So my other point is fulfill your promises. Parents.
Parents,
if you want your child to trust you, please fulfill your promises to them. Don't go to town, tell them you're going to bring a sweet for them and come back empty-handed. Bring the sweet. Whether it's 100, they don't care. The fact is, you promised them a sweet. And the other thing is this thing of telling them, you go and get your shoes and we go. The next thing they know, they don't find you. Just tell your child, we are not going. You get? Like, tell them point blank, I am not taking you. I am going far. You're staying here. Full stop. Whether they cry, they'll be okay. They are going to cry, and then you come back. They will either have forgotten that. But these days, kids don't forget. You go back home, and she's like,
you left me here. You went away without me.
So, parents, if you tell your child that if you do this, I am going to do this for you, please don't discourage them by not giving them, because you get, we mothers, we have that habit. You tell them, give me your money that daddy gave you last night. And then when I get mine, I'll buy for you this. The child seriously, blindly
will trust
you, and they give you their money. Now the time comes for you to pay back. Did I give back to you? Don't I do this for you? I always wash your clothes. You start pouring matter onto them, like downloading, and then they're looking at you like, and for them in their head, they remember you told them you're going to do something for them because they've done something for you. So, I mean, parents, to a deco.
It is so interesting that is how that's how they learn to relate with God.
Yes.
Then they have a broken relationship. They don't trust God because when mommy and daddy said something, sometimes they did it, sometimes they didn't. So when you ask God for something, you're like, he may do it, he may not do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nangi, you better take care of yourself, man. This life, it's difficult. All because you never did what you said. It is so true. And for me, what the caution there as a parent is, don't say something if you know you're not going to do it.
Yes.
And you can handle kids' emotions. I think the reason why we promise, like, you go pick your shoes, I'll come, we go together, then you disappear. It's because you don't want to deal with the emotion of they're sad. They are crying because they are sad that you're going away. They're not trying to make your life difficult. They're not trying to be mean. They actually want to be with you.
In fact, continue even if they are crying.
Yeah, so tell them, look, I understand that you're happy with this, but talk to them like they are your people. And
yes,
we treat them like they're just the people there. Okay, fine. Fine. Yes. These precious babies God put in your stomach gave you the ability to raise, and then their irritation, their emotions are too much for you to handle. Choka, you also go to God. God, my God, God, my God. Let handle the emotion. Be brave.
Yes.
You're
by the way, you have to be brave because you are the parent.
Tell them I'm coming back.
Yes.
If the child is demanding, will you bring me a sweet? If you know you're not going to bring the sweet, say I am not going to bring the sweet.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been guilty in promising, like, if you do this, I'll do this for you because I'm trying to bribe.
Yeah.
To get them to do what I want. Then they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come. Mommy, I did. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, if well done. Now I'm going to do what I said.
Oh my God.
10 years later. Okay. I'm so, like, it's not right.
Yeah.
I tell Olusi, she'll come and say, Mommy, Mama, you said this and this and this. Are you going to? I'm like, yeah, in fact, you must. Nangi, let's not do this. Like, you are slowly breaking the trust of your child.
Yes.
And in their head, those people are very active in their minds. They know how to read. They're actually more emotionally intelligent than you. They will be like, Mommy, this and this and this, or Daddy, this and this and this, and they pack it.
Yes, they'll grow up with that mindset, knowing that parents are not to be trusted.
They don't do what they say.
To the point that they can also tell you, Mama, Nzija, and they don't show. You get, because that's the same thing you used to do to them. Or they'll tell you, I'm around the corner. You're waiting for them 3 hours later. It's because that's what you told them. But if they know that if my mom says she's going to be here in 1 hour, it's 1 hour. If my mom says, do this, my mom lied to us one day. Go and shower, we are going. Everyone showered, she slept.
Until your whole heart can be in that going thing.
The point that every time my mom told me go and shower, I wouldn't shower. Until someone else tells me. Can you imagine? We were so eager to go. I don't even know that woman. I should remind her of that. But let me tell you, you grow up with your child asking yourself, but there is this part of my child that I don't understand. Kumbe, it is you who instilled it in them. And for them, they'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Because they think that's my mom.
It gets inside their head somewhere, and
it locks.
Decides it changes them somehow. It does something. So Munangi, there are a number of things. Let me conclude by saying this one thing. Do not compare your child to other children. For me, I've fallen victim to that. When you see someone's child being so awesome in the things you want your child to be awesome, and then maybe God has not given them that.
Yeah.
I think instead of looking at other people's children, focus on your child.
Yes.
Figure out who they are
and their
strengths, their weaknesses, and focus on those and develop those. Don't tell your child, why don't you be like neighbor so and so's child? They're always the first in class.
As if
maybe they are called to be a rocket scientist. You're not called to be a rocket scientist. You're called to be a social media influencer. You don't need to be the first in class. You don't need to have 100 in math, 100 in English. You just need to have a good personality that people like. So you grow their personality instead of trying to force them
to be
the top in that you must. In our family, where we come from,
don't force the children. That's what.
Don't force them. Don't compare them. Yes. Love them the way they are, which means take time to figure them out. Like we started in the beginning.
Yeah.
Know your children. learn your children, love your children. They are the ones God has given. You have no choice by that.
And discipline your children.
Yes.
But one last thing is, parents, please do not see a child, your child, or anyone's child doing something wrong and look on the other side because you're afraid of telling them off, or you think they're disturbing you. Let me say you're watching your cat series, so you see a child spoiling something and you'll be like, Kasta, they are quiet. And you continue with your cat series because you don't want them to disturb you. We have that mostly the mothers, because you want your free time, me time, and if I stop him from doing that, he's most definitely going to come and disturb me. So I will leave him. Kumbe, he's learning how to spoil. So please, let's tell on them, like let's talk to them, tell them that what you're doing is wrong. Stop them. Do not look the other side. So other than that, parents, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped or will help in the future. You who are expecting, who already have children, we are really so prayerful towards you, and teach your children how to pray.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did we not even say that? It's the most important thing.
Unless you said it in a conclusion.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.